Finally, I managed to connect everything to my Aadhaar card. My phone, my pillow, my tree, everything. I think it's time for me to start my IIT JEE preparation. I'm thrilled to announce that our political party has managed to achieve 100% transparency. We will be conducting an inquiry on those conducting an inquiry, on those conducting an inquiry, on those conducting an inquiry. Wow, look, a rupee coin. I didn't believe it when they said that the Indian rupee was falling. Water found on Mars, they should first find water on the Earth. I would rather have you face books instead. When they said that we are going to get 24/7 electricity, I didn't know that they meant 7 power cuts every 24 hours. Yeah, I'm not able to read it. Yeah. So can you please blink your eyes every once in a while so I'll know that it's you and not your profile picture? This was during online classes in the recent pandemic. So I would like to describe myself as a cartoonist, as an illustrator, and an animator. And I have been heavily influenced by this gentleman that you see on the screen. He was my uncle. He passed away very recently. His name is Bapu. And for people who are from Andhra Pradesh, they might be knowing and must have heard about him. He's a very famous cartoonist, illustrator, and also a film director. So whenever he used to come home, my mom used to quickly get a paper and a pen and ask me to quickly draw something. He's coming in the evening, and so I used to quickly draw and show him those drawings, and he used to draw over them. And so he's a very, very famous man, and he happened to be my uncle, and I'm so proud of that. And unfortunately, he passed away. He's also received a Padma Shri, and he passed away, a couple of years back. So he's been one of my biggest influences. I just did not know what I was going to do, but I knew that, just a paper and a pen in hand, and I'm just going to keep drawing away. I didn't know anything else. So I've been drawing right from when I was a kid, and, I continued drawing through the ages, and then, I still draw. I draw almost around, if I can manage, I draw almost around 5 to 6 hours every day. The current job that I hold requires, a lot of administrative work, and it takes up a lot of my time from morning to evening. So, and then I go back home and draw. Or the best time for me is early in the morning when everybody else is sleeping. That's when I decide to draw. So I usually wake up around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I sit and sketch. So, but then, you can become whatever you want, but first become an engineer, right? So that was what was told to everybody, and I'm talking about the 1980s. And then I went ahead and somehow managed to get through the IIT JEE. At that time, there was no advanced, so I got admission in IIT BHU, Varanasi, but they were wonderful years. 4 years of wonderful life. I made friends who we still go out with every 6 months. We take a break just from everything. No family involved, just us. Okay, just go to various places and come back. We're very, very close friends. And I'm really happy that I spent my 4 years there. Of course, more than engineering, I used to sketch. I used to do all these, take part in cultural events and do all these and just go out there. And, so that was when I decided, I'm going to do something else and not engineering. Of course, I did take a placement. I got a job, and I was in these parts actually, in and around Bihar. At that time, there was no Jharkhand. So I was posted in and around here in the mines. I used to sketch in the nights, under the mines, and then I thought, no way. One of these days, I was sitting at a tapri in Dhanbad, and I was having tea. And then I happened to check a newspaper that there was an advertisement from IIT Bombay for admission to Masters in Design. Right? I thought, wow. And then this was in visual communication, and I thought this must be like something closer to what I want to do. Right? I was fortunate that I managed to get admission in visual communication for MDes in IDC IIT Bombay in 1989, right? And it was completely new to me. I'll tell you, I was from the engineering background, just like all of you. And the first difference that you find when you go to a design school is like there is no hierarchy of a teacher and students, right? So it's not the teacher standing on a stage with more power, and then you have students sitting like this. So we sit in a design school, everybody was sitting around, right? And this made a huge difference to the way I thought, because it was like sitting across in a dining table. And if you notice in kindergarten, that's how they sit. And they're the most creative in kindergarten, right? So, and then once this kind of thing comes up, then you start losing your own confidence in yourself. That's how the classrooms are structured normally in engineering colleges. So that was a big difference for me. Another difference that I found was that nobody was wrong. I mean, when there was a question asked, it wasn't expected that everyone should give the same answer. Typically in engineering and science, you have the same answer that you have to get to. But in design, you have several answers and not everyone can be right? So this was a huge difference in the way I thought and the way it influenced my life after that, right? I'm sorry. Yeah. This gentleman that you see on screen, Mr. Ram Mohan, he's considered to be the father of the animation industry in India. After I graduated from MDes, I worked with him in Mumbai. He had a studio in Mahim, and I used to work in Mahim, but he used to pay very less. He used to pay 800 rupees a month. That wasn't enough in Bombay, even in those days. So I went to him once and asked him, say, listen, can you please do something about it? Can you increase my salary? He said, see, listen, I can't, right? But I'll put you on to another friend of mine who's running a company, and he has a company in Fountain in Mumbai. He says, in the mornings you can work here, in the evenings you can go there, right? Then I didn't have a house in Mumbai. I used to pile on to my friends, and so I used to go to Mahim in the morning, and then from there rush to this place, Fountain, and then go so this continued for a few months, which became a little too taxing for me too. And then I decided to go back to Chennai, and I started my own studio. Okay, in Chennai, I had actually I would call it an honor to have worked on one of the first animation serials, 2D animation, cartoon animation serials that were made in India. And this was a serial called Ki Duniya. It was based on this baby elephant that you see on screen. And it was a 13 episodic series in Hindi. My difficulty was I did this in Chennai, and none of the people there understood Hindi, right? None of the animators understood Hindi. So I used to write in English, the dialogues, and they used to just read that. But it was a very wonderful experience. And, they helped me finish this animation. This is me during those days. I'm sure you wouldn't recognize otherwise, had I not told you. Tara recently completed 25 years. This was around a time that my daughter was born, and I was animating Tara. And so for me, Tara was like my daughter. It's my second daughter, right? So that's how passionate I became about this character. And in character design, that's very important for anyone, because characters outlive the creators, right? So you have somebody who's created Mickey Mouse. He died long back. Mickey Mouse still exists, right? So your characters need to be that strong. And then after 20 odd years in the industry, then animation, gaming, and special effects industry, I decided I have to come back to teach. I thought around half my career in the animation in the industry and the other half bringing that experience into the classroom. I love teaching. I love it when there are people listening to what I'm saying, and I love it when they're smiling and they're laughing in the classroom, and they're experiencing joy, right? So this is part of my classroom, and I really enjoy teaching. So I also sketch a lot, like I was mentioning. I just keep filling up my sketchbooks. And during the time that after I came back to IIT Bombay to teach, this was around 13 years ago, I decided that I'm going to look at my sketchbooks and see if something can come out of it. All right, and that led to this. I was born in that red dot that you see on the map, right, in coastal Andhra Pradesh. By way of education, I moved to these places, right? By way of work, I moved to a few other places. And by way of visiting, I went to all these places. For people from the Northeast, I'm sorry, I haven't yet visited there, but I will soon. So when you look back at the dot where I was born, my wife was born just 50 kilometers away from there. So it's almost the same dot, right? But then there are so many things that are different in the way she speaks Telugu and I speak Telugu, in the way she eats their food and cuisine and everything, habits. My children can easily find out that, hey, you're from West Godavari district, you're from Krishna district, okay? So they can easily tell the difference. Then I was thinking, how much difference is there going to be in all these red dots, right? And it became a passion for me there onwards to see if I can travel to these places and sketch the places, right? That became the passion for me. Just understanding people from different places. And that led to this project called India, lots of people, lots of fun. This is my project that I've been working on for some time. I really enjoy this project. And maybe the size of these sketches, you might not be able to see the details, but India has many people, too many people, different kinds of people, all kinds of people, many, many people, right? Several people, 1.3 billion people. Right? So they're not just people. Each of these is a story. And these stories need to be told. If we, belonging to current day India, know that there are so many stories and we're not telling those stories, they're just going to go untold. Those stories are going to go undocumented and they're going to not remain with us. So this became my driving force for doing this project. For example, this is Mumbai, and they say that Mumbai never sleeps. Yes, that's true. Well, this is the morning 7:35 train that goes towards CST. Kemp's Corner. Yes, Gateway of India. I love these parts of Mumbai, right? So how many of you are from Mumbai? Anybody? Only the front row people are from Mumbai. Okay, right. Bangalore, anyone here? Okay, 2 of them. Right, so you're lucky you're here. There's a lot of traffic in Mumbai, Bangalore. So these are the, you need to say hello to them. These are the people who are driving the IT industry, waiting for the bus to take them to Electronic City in Bangalore. Hyderabad. In fact, how many of you are from Hyderabad? So, okay. They should call it Constructionabad, because this place is always under construction. They're building some bridge or the other all the time. And this is IKEA. When IKEA came in, people started hearing, you know, अरे मियाँ सुनते कि यहाँ पर कारपेंटर आ गए नए नए, तो चलो सब देखने जाते मांगते, हम भी देखने जाते तो, right? So that's typical Hyderabadi. Charminar out there that really is about Hyderabad. Yeah, this is Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Banaras, where I spent 4 years, where usually people go there waiting to die. Did you hear this? Right? So there are houses out there given for rent for 6 months. You're supposed to die within those 6 months. And if you're not, they'll just ask you to go, right? So it's really fun. And this is, I went to Delhi the other day and took some pictures in Delhi, right? So, jokes apart, Delhi actually always makes me remember of my childhood, the Republic Day parade, and all these things. And we used to get ready in the morning, waiting for that black and white television to show us the live telecast of Republic Day. Of course, this is the Delhi function. And then here's Bihar, and a political rally going on in Bihar. This is a party where they recently changed their party symbol to a toothbrush. They say that they have made a lot of progress because it used to be a neem stick before. Right? Many things actually join us here in India. One is festivals, Holi, the boats of Kerala, and then the Dahi Handi in Maharashtra. Of course, this is going to come very soon, the Ganesh Visarjan, right, and the Durga Puja in Kolkata, the Kite Flying Festival in Gujarat, and movies. Movies are another thing that unites all of us in India. It's a very strange country. I mean, there's so many things that unite us, and I'll just take you through some. This is like Kabhi Khushi, Kabhi Gum, right? Cricket. Cricket is something that again unites us. I find as a cartoonist so many things that there is in India for a cartoonist. So I don't want to leave India. I mean, there's so much out here for us. It brings families together. The IPL made such a huge difference. So much cricket happening. They're just exhausted and tired, and sometimes even confused, right? There's so much passion, anger about cricket that, if we lose a game, there's a protest outside the captain's house. And there are queues all over wherever you see. This is a queue for kindergarten admission, college admission, jobs, and queue at the pension office, right? So this is, there's nothing much going on here. They're just changing a street lamp, and the whole town has come there to see it, right? So yeah, so many things, crazy things in India that happen that it's really fun as a cartoonist and an illustrator to do. And all this is coming out to be in a book that's going to be published very soon. And if you happen to go there, please go ahead and buy it, right? Yeah, I'll just take a quick minute out here and just tell you that these are my parents. My father was a professor in IIT Madras, and so everybody else was getting into engineering, and all his friends' kids, and so I thought, man, I should also. So that's how I got into engineering. But given that, my mom and my dad both really encouraged me to get into any field that I decided to be. This is my family, and of course their support has been immense throughout. So the point I'm trying to make here is that, of course, passion is needed for what you do, but you do need somebody who believes in that passion, right? You need someone who will support you all through that passion, and look for those people. And once you find those people, you'll achieve anything that you want. The other thing that I find is about creativity. Please do not think that creativity is something that comes as a bolt from the sky and hits only a few fortunate people, right? Please, you're all creative. All of us are equally creative. It's just that we need to open our eyes and ears and look around us to see and observe things, and just be sensitive to things around us. That's about, and have a comment on things that are happening around you, right? So thank you very much.